welcome to Blockchain Week Day 1. Up next, we have Brendon Howe, the GM and VP of VMware. Take the stage, Brendon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. I appreciate I guess it's good afternoon for some. I appreciate the time today. I'm Brendon Howe. I'm VP and General Manager of the blockchain business at VMware. It's great to join you today. I appreciate everyone's time. I wish I could be there in person. Hopefully soon these events will feel a lot more in person and we can do this live. But for now, here we are with Zoom, and we'll continue with Zoom. I assume most know a bit about VMware, but for those that need a refresh, let me just give you a couple of basic facts as a refresh. VMware is a Fortune 50 company. We're a global leader in cloud infrastructure and business mobility technology, product, and services. We're a leading provider of multi-cloud services for all applications, enabling our customers to apply digital innovation as part of their transformation initiatives with enterprise control. And I think that's an important point because we'll come back to that in a discussion about blockchain. As you probably know, we're headquartered in the United States. Our main corporate campus is in Palo Alto, California, where I work out of. And we have over 37,000 employees across the globe. We're very proud of the fact that we run most of the world's enterprise workloads today with over 500,000 customers. So most of you are probably familiar with VMware. You may not know much about our efforts in the blockchain space or why we're even here as part of Blockchain Australia this week. So let me introduce that to you and we'll go in from there. Our mission with VMware Blockchain is to enable enterprise customers to transform their businesses with decentralized applications that run on our enterprise class distributed ledger platform. As a leading application platform in the world today, we aim to expand that leadership to the new generation of decentralized apps that are being built on blockchain technology. And we see the opportunity to bring traditional VMware strengths to this mission. You could almost think of it as an extension to our modern applications strategic initiative. The effort in blockchain at VMware started as a research project back in 2015. We were focused on building a uniquely scalable Byzantine fault-tolerant system, something at the time we coined SBFT, Scalable Byzantine Fault Tolerance. We first introduced this as an open source effort named Project Concord and announced it in the fall of 2018. And since then, we've been developing that project into a significant development effort and business effort to build a decentralized application platform with some unique characteristics. And I'll get into that in a minute. As I said earlier, our focus is on using blockchain technology to build decentralized application platforms for enterprise customers in enterprise use cases. You could think of this as permissioned blockchains, which is a bit different from some of the popular blockchain networks today that are open to anyone. I don't particularly find the private versus public distinction to be very helpful. The line between private and public is getting thinner and thinner. And we see the opportunity to build and leverage both public and private as customers broaden their use case thinking and as we broaden our capability set. So really thinking about our focus as a permissioned blockchain platform for the enterprise is probably the best way to say it. Our product was first released in November of 2020, about a year and a half ago. It runs on premises as traditional software that's controlled, deployed, and managed by our customers, or it runs in any public cloud in the same way. And we have plans to offer it as a full SaaS offering in the near future. We're focused heavily on the financial services vertical. There's a lot of great projects, great opportunities there for our platform, particularly in the capital market space. And I'll talk a bit more about that in a few minutes as we go through some use case examples. And then lastly, as an introduction, I'd add that I'm proud to say that we're the platform behind the Australia Securities Exchange CHESS replacement initiative that many of you are probably well familiar with. as well as the ASX Symphony DLT service that was announced about 6 months ago. So we're off to a really strong start with our efforts in Australia, and we're thrilled to be here as part of this discussion. So I hope you find that that gives you a better understanding of who we are and why we're here as part of the discussion today. So let's talk a little bit more about the VMware blockchain platform and what it does and what we think is unique about our capabilities. Blockchain functionality provides some breakthrough capability for customers, though, as you all know, the features vary a great deal across the numerous public and private offerings. Here's what VMware offers with its DLT platform. And I'm going to put a slide up that I hope will help follow the discussion a bit and also give you an opportunity to not stare at the screen at me the whole time. So let me do that, if you can bear with me here for 1 second. And I think that worked. I assume you can all see that. So if you take a look at the feature set and you think about the features overall, you could really split it up into 2 categories. One category is the notion of having functional capabilities typical of any blockchain platform. And those functional capabilities are shown on the left-hand side of the slide, and non-functional enterprise features required for most enterprise workloads, which is shown on the right-hand side of the slide. With our market focus on enterprise use cases, it's really important for us to do both really well, which isn't common with a lot of the blockchain offerings in the market today. So let me talk about each side of the slide to give you a better perspective of things, starting with the left. Talk about the attributes, the blockchain attributes of our platform. First is integrity. We provide a trusted and shared source of truth by ensuring validity of the ledger state and to protect against double spending of digital assets. Concord, our scalable Byzantine fault-tolerant consensus algorithms, are the engine that are behind the integrity check within the blockchain platform itself. A second attribute is privacy. While having a shared source of truth, it's also important to restrict access of data to only those who need to know or are allowed to know. Our platform guarantees privacy of data to those who are involved in a transaction down to the sub-transaction level. In a multi-party transaction environment, this ensures that only the parties participating in the transaction have access to the data, which we hear over and over again is a really critical capability need. Third is authentication. Instead of simply trusting messages between network participants or putting the burden of trust on the participants themselves, we use cryptography to validate and to trace transaction all the way through. And then finally, verifiability. With our shared source of truth, each network participant in our blockchain network independently verifies that their data is correct, which is an important attribute of a decentralized, shared, single source of truth data platform. Now, I want to make a few other comments about our architecture, and I'm going to move to the next slide to give you a better picture of that. We designed our platform with an abstraction between the layers to provide flexibility and modularity for customers. As a result, our customers can run a variety of applications built on a smart contract language of their choice. We have a deep strategic partnership with Digital Asset, the pioneers of DAML, Digital Asset Market Language, as a smart contracting choice for many. And our version 1 product was built with an embedded DAML execution state engine with standard DAML application interfaces. And we will continue to work closely with DA in the coming years. We also, however, plan to offer additional interfaces for customers who have a preference for different programming environments and smart contract environments. For example, we plan to offer state machines for the Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM, and even today have a Solidity EVM in tech preview is part of that journey. And we'll continue to open up the platform to additional programming environments as people choose to use that. So I will stop sharing now and bring the discussion back. I hope those diagrams were helpful. It's easy to see how the DLT capabilities open up a lot of new opportunities for the decentralized applications. And they enable a really powerful way of doing multi-party transaction processing that's quite different than traditional means. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the discussion, most enterprise applications and use cases are considered mission critical. They're the backbone applications of many businesses, including new generation decentralized applications running on blockchains. Therefore, these new blockchain applications must run on a platform that can meet the institutional grade requirements that aren't common in the blockchain space. And I want to talk a little bit about that, which is really the right-hand side of the slide. So let me put that back up again. Apologize for this being a little choppy. And we'll go back one slide. There we go, the right-hand side of the screen. So if you take a look at a couple of the attributes of what we do, first, performance and scale. Our platform enables a high and very sustainable throughput of complex transactions through our ledger. And we do it at a much larger network scale. Today, we're in the hundreds to thousands of transactions per second. And we also do it on an affordable infrastructure with a responsible carbon footprint. We take advantage of a lot of VMware deployment and VMware infrastructure foundational capabilities to do that, and feel that that advantage will be important for enterprises who continue to drive significant ESG initiatives as part of the new application platform offerings. A second part of operational excellence and enterprise hardening is deployment and upgrades. Our platform's easy to deploy by abstracting the complexity of distributed systems into a much simpler deployment model. And we can support easy upgrades that can be done with data continuity, which is important as security environments change, as scale elements of our product change. Customers can take advantage of those new capabilities non-disruptively. We have a lot of capability built in for monitoring and logging. Our platform provides the tools and the diagnostics needed to centrally manage or maintain the blockchain network, to monitor the health of the system, to monitor performance, latency of the system, and all kinds of other attributes that are critical for a lot of these mission critical use cases. And then finally, like most VMware customers today, our blockchain customers can benefit from enterprise grade support in that we're a large global company with years of experience running the world's largest, most mission critical networks out there with best in class support to take advantage of that. So we also offer other important features such as pruning of data to lower the overall cost of very large scale data store on the blockchain. We support dynamic reconfiguration of the blockchain platform in a non-disruptive way so that our customers can add clients, they can make changes to the network configuration, or all kinds of other things that are part of their everyday operational challenges. So overall, you can see our focus in combining the powerful new capabilities of blockchain to enable a set of new capabilities with enterprise grade is really powerful. So now I want to transition and talk a little bit more about what people are doing with these things, which is, I think, really the main interest. As I mentioned, we're mainly focused on the opportunities across the financial services space, where data sharing, data reconciliation, data governance are complex, done in many steps and often manual. But by no means is that the only segment pursuing blockchain services. But in the interest of time, I'll focus my comments on the financial services space. I want to give you a few examples of use cases in business initiatives that are taking advantage of our blockchain technology. One is post-trade modernization, where customers in the capital market space are using blockchain networks to transform and accelerate processes of clearing, settlement, asset registration, other post-trade processes. And if anything, the pandemic has greatly accelerated these initiatives since asset volumes have greatly increased in the recent years and will continue to do so. The ASX chest replacement program that I mentioned earlier is a really good example of this use case and promises to streamline a lot of business steps, such as reconciliation, reduced time, all contributing to much lower operational costs. Another use case category is repurchase agreements, securities lending, collateral management, where companies are using blockchain networks to enable market participants to agree, execute, and settle repo transactions directly. In that case, the repo allows the immobilization of the underlying security in the transactions while transferring ownership via smart contracts, greatly simplifying the process and reducing time and cost. One of our customers, Broadridge Financial, is a really good example of this and is already processing, more than 30 billion overnight funds on their distributed ledger repo or DLR platform. Other examples, digital market infrastructures that use blockchain networks to create new issuances, trading, clearing, and settlement for native digital financial assets. This is certainly an exciting space. It's in the news a lot. And unlike a lot of the legacy assets and infrastructure, digital assets and digital markets enable much simpler issuance and reduced settling time right from the start. Another use case that has a lot of activity today, payments and stablecoin, using blockchain networks to build new payment rails and assets on those rails to transform the cost and experience of current peer-to-peer, merchant, cross-border, cross-company payment flows. This area is exciting and it promises to be a major transformation of retail commercial banking and even corporate finance. Another big topic is digital currency, in particular, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, enabling the reimagining of money into a digital form by leveraging scalable, interoperable, distributed blockchain infrastructure at the core and providing unique accounting privacy protocols that can balance auditing with anonymous behavior. And that'll be a continued back and forth with regulatory agencies and consumer demand of what's the right combination there. Enterprise NFTs are gaining a lot of momentum. We're seeing a lot of customers with strong interest in enabling brands to create, market, and transact digital goods with their customers, including collectibles, customer loyalty assets, and many other components as part of their online environment. And they're all doing these on blockchain. An interesting part here too is the tie into the secondary market platforms, which is really where a lot of the public and private worlds come together under a unified platform. Know your customer document verification is another great example too. So it's still early days, but we're really excited about the opportunity that lies ahead for us in the industry as a whole. So I'd like to take a minute to just thank everyone for listening today. I appreciate the time. As I mentioned, I wish I could have been there. Please visit our website, VMware Blockchain, for more information. If you can in the room, find Stephen Smith from our group. He'll be happy to fill you in on a lot more details, and listen to folks like Dan Chesterman from ASX, who will talk a lot more about what's going on here too. Thank you very much for your time.